Hello, Prevent-A-Thon's 7 Game Submission Committee. My name is TurtleRun2412, and this is Moth Planet 100%. Estimate 35 minutes. Without further ado, good evening, ladybugs, gentle mantids, and end beetles of all kinds. Welcome to this Moth Planet news broadcast. I'm your news anchor, TurtleRun2412, here today to bring you all of the scoops. That's right, in our program today, we will be featuring 100% of the interviews that are to be had in Lycosina. So, we'll get right into the scoops. We'll send Robin into it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Here is Robin, everyone's new favorite news moth. As you can see, Robin is a moth, and therefore is able to easily fly through the world just like that. More importantly though, Robin has a camera strapped to their butt that they can use to interview the locals just like that. 1 down, 251 to go. They will go by lickety-split, however, as Robin doesn't need to read all their dialogue. Robin just needs to get the interview on the books with a single shot of their camera while driving by. No matter the secret area, Robin will find every interview in this land and get them for their story. Robin also will need to find several of these news beacons, which when lit will open the path just like that to let Robin find even more interviews as well as more paths forward through the world of Lycosina. And as you've already been able to tell, Robin has some amazing movement capabilities. Robin has 3 forms of flying that they can use: a small flap, a medium flap, and a large flap, each one of which has their own use cases for going quickly. Robin also has a downward dash in case they need to fall very quickly. And most importantly of all, Robin has an amazingly high top speed, as well as being bouncy. So if Robin hits a wall, Robin will not lose all that speed. Robin will simply just bounce in the other direction. With all these powers, Robin can get through this story tremendously fast, as they're already through the tutorial of the game and make their way into, or the tutorial of the story, and make their way into the city. But the main gates of the city are closed off, so Robin will have to explore elsewhere, which is a-okay, because they're getting 100% of the interviews anyway. And the city is very dense with moths, as you would expect from an area named the city. It also has these houses, which Robin can just enter at will and interview the people within. Some of the residents definitely do complain like, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing in my house?" But don't worry, citizens, this is journalism. You're just being interviewed for the local paper. Hooray! And one house in particular is very important. This one right here contains the mayor of Lycosina. Robin asks them why the gates are closed, and the mayor goes like, I don't know, you should find a way to open it with a news beacon. It's a gasp political scandal. What a great story for Robin to report on, but they do also need that news beacon. So Robin will fly through town, interviewing more people, breaking into more homes, in order to get every single scoop the city has to offer. Yep. If you are worried about so many small areas and buildings, don't worry. The city is really the only part of this world that has so many interior areas. And once we're out of places like the villa, it gets a lot quicker to go through, as Robin makes her way into a special area that houses a special new pastime for the moths. As down here, we find Caroline, who has set up a whole game of Moth Pachinko! If Robin can get through this pachinko machine, finding 4 easier holes to get through and light up 4 news beacons, then Robin will get to the final hole in the final news beacon. Once all of that is complete, then Robin will win an amazing prize! Which Robin, yeah, sure, prizes are cool, right? Of course, if you play Super Mario Sunshine, you know Pachinko can be a little annoying. Luckily, unlike Mario, Robin can straight up fly, so it can be very easy to correct any mistakes and make it through to get Robin's reward of 5 whole interviews, as well as saying hi to Caroline, Shell, and Wheatley, because we love a good callback, don't we now? After we interview that moth who was being a little stubborn about it. With Pachinko over, Robin can now make their way up to the Overlook, where the mayor told them that they would find the news beacon they need. There are also a couple more hidden interviews back here, so Robin will find them as well as a mysterious as well as a mysterious wind. Bouncy. As well as a mysterious source of wind. Robin could investigate where it's coming from, but there are no interviews over by that part of the wind. So Robin will just make their way out of the wind and down to the news beacon they need to light up to open the path to the main town square. And, of course, grab a few interviews along the way, because this wouldn't be 100% without a buttload of moth interviews, such as this moth, who tells them that his friend was trying to meet at the pool, and his friend, who is hiding from him under the pool. Shoutouts to friendship! But with that, Robin does find the main town square where they can interview, and interview, and interview, and interview, and interview so many. The well also looks a little weird, to say the least. So Robin dives down to investigate, where they find this moth who's been here for 7 days at the bottom of the well. You should probably try and fly back out, just like Robin can, but not before they find a void warp. It's okay. All that there is at the end of it is a void emissary who tries to tell Robin the good news of the void. Literally, these void moths are reciting moth scripture at Robin. So Robin takes a couple of quick notes from the interview and then dashes back to the surface of the well to document it as well. Ho-ho! With the mystery of the well solved and the town square open, Robin is good to go into their next major area of the scoop. Ignore the fact that that said 3 out of 12 interviews in this district. Robin will be back for those later. Don't worry, it's fine. So, they make their way down to the forest, which the forest is filled with many dangers, like these red thorns, which will kill Robin instantly on contact. There are many moths who are hiding from the dangers here, but Robin cannot hide. They must seek out the truth. And even if that means going into the ominously named hunting grounds. After a couple more interviews, Robin will find out why they are named that, for it is not the moths doing the hunting. It is the plants who, in a twisted turn of nature, will now hunt down the moths. If those stalkers see Robin, they will attempt to charge at, jump at, and chomp our beloved reporter to death. Just like that! But wait, what's this? Robin is alive? Maybe it was just a fluke. You didn't see anything. So Robin will perfectly make it through all of these stalker plants and continue to dive into another area where these pitcher plants exist, and they can use their powerful wind suction to try and pull Robin in and make them a delicious mothy snack. But Robin will avoid that, talk to another void emissary, and continue down through the hunting grounds. Names are hard. Words are hard. Talking is very hard. Especially while I'm so tense watching Robin just barely sneak by all of these tremendous dangers in order to talk to this scientist moth and then die. But wait, Robin is back and then die. And then Robin is back again. Could that be the power of the void? Why, yes, dear viewer, yes, it is. Not long before this scoop, Robin had an interview with the void itself. The void was so impressed with Robin's journalistic integrity that it granted them this amazing respawning power that they may go wherever the scoop takes them without any fear. Robin clearly needs it, as the plants here are being very, very naughty. Once you are stuck in a loop of the wind pulling you in, it is very hard to get out. And that stalker plant was just right in the way, but Robin finally finds the small child moth hiding in the most dangerous place in the game and interviews them. Hooray! That was all that was needed there. So, Robin can now come down here and find the path forward is blocked off by a gate. Oh no! How will Robin get through? Well, We'll have to figure out later because there are yet more interviews along this path waiting to be conducted. So if Robin can get through this windy section, quickly snap an interview with Joel up here on the ledge. Maybe Joel suggests finding out where this wind is going. And that's a great suggestion because it leads Robin to yet another Void Emissary. With that Void Emissary taken care of, Robin can continue on, getting out of the hunting, almost getting out of the hunting grounds. Because, no, there we go. Goodness. After that, we can find an area called the Refuge. So named because it is a refuge from all the wicked plants below, and much like the city, this area is very dense with moths. So Robin will get their 100th interview. We're over 2/5 of the way, we're over 40% of the way there, and see these mysterious triangles in the wall. Did you memorize them, viewers? Because Robin had to, as they get through the deep woods, an area that might be familiar to you if you played The Legend of Zelda. Luckily, Robin wrote the Nintendo Power News Guide on that all those years ago. How amazing! With that, they can warp over here to the Thorn Maze, where they can talk to Indiana, Lara, Dora, and Diego. The explorers here warn them of great dangers ahead, but Robin is not deterred, and they head deeper into the Thorn Maze, where they must talk to several of the gardeners here in order to open up the blocked thorn paths and get to the big scoop that they need at the end. Some of these moving thorn cycles are also quite rude, but what's more rude is the slowness of this water that Robin must go through in order to find yet another secret void warp leading to a Void Emissary. They're just vibing. Don't worry about them. So now, back to the Thorn Maze Robin goes, because this head gardener right here does have a challenge for our dear news reporter. If Robin can manage to interview all of the different gardeners, then they will open up a secret extra path to yet another interview in the secret garden. So Robin must very intentionally die here because the power of the void can be used to skip a bunch of these sections. Ta-da! And that's very quick. So now Robin has interviewed all of the gardeners, avoids the cycles, and gets to the secret garden up here. With that interview done, Robin will now head back through this area, which would be a great time for a brief break for our host to say some words. Until I get into sideways rushing water. Sorry. Yeah, host talk here in marathon time. So, boop, I shut up, rest my voice. Not this sideways rushing. I need to find a better cue for that, but... Ooh, maybe I should the lovebirds, until I find the love nest. Until I find the love nest! Hey, look! It's a love nest with two moths kissing under the moonlight! How adorable! We take a picture of them because of course we do. That's journalism, baby! But we did still have some journalism to do, including back in the city, because the waterworks will take us straight back to the pool area where we can interview the final 6 moths of the city, lickety-split. So long as we don't bounce off of a platform just like that. 3, 4, 5. 5? Come here, 5. Come here, Frankie. And 6. Now the city is fully completed, and Robin can head back into the forest. But Robin will go up here and find themselves yet another void warp. But this one is different. This one has purple walls and a ghost? A ghost moth? Oh dear! But luckily, Robin just interviews the ghost moth, who's a very good talker, and heads back out into the forest, which I'm sure will have no more ghosts whatsoever. Back into the deep woods Robin goes to input yet another deep woods code in order to get to... Hello? In order to get to another interview, and the flooded forest basement, which can take Robin, after they get this really easy to forget moth, down into the underground lake, part of an area known as the Caves, an area with yet more interviews, but also yet more danger, just like that. If Robin can get over it, there we go. Robin must not only face these bigger, longer, spiky spikes, but also you can see these glowing mushrooms. Those are emitting a poisonous spore. If it infects Robin, Robin will instantly die. Oh dear! And these white moths that you see all over, if those moths are infected, they will have their minds possessed, and they will run straight at Robin and attempt to affect them as well. Luckily, in this room here, this one moth can be cured by all of this water, which gives Robin yet one more interview. That is, however, the only infected moth that can be cured in the entire area, as it is very difficult to cure them. So Robin won't bother. Robin will just interview the healthy ones instead, as they make their way into an area of the quarantine zone, where all of the moths are perfectly healthy, and there is no mystery to be solved. Oh wait, there totally is! Someone ate all of the food! Oh no! Oh, here they are. They ate all the food. That was really easy! Robin, give yourself a pat on the back! A pat on the back, if you will. Haha! But there is still more scoop to be found. So Robin will head over here to find this giant cocoon. And immediately miss it, because there's yet more to find right here with this room of infinite bonks. We'll talk about the giant cocoon later, because Robin must first make their way through this big long zigzag of a room, not once, not twice, to interview this void emissary, but 3 times? No! 4 times to make it all the way back out. Robin manages to get through with very minimal bonks. Amazingly done, Robin. And we can once again see this giant cocoon. It is certainly very, very big. Who knows what sort of giant creature could be born from such a giant cocoon? Maybe there's just treasure under it, but foreshadowing is a narrative device. We'll have to find out more later, as Robin now goes back through the quarantine zone. They have just a couple more very safe interviews to give before it's time to head out, go through the decontamination chambers, which are quite slow, but Robin only needs to head through them once. There's no going back to the quarantine zone from here, folks. It's only deeper into danger that we must go. So there are more spiky spikes, more infected moths, and more mushroom cycles everywhere the eye can see. Yep. So Robin must be very, very deft with their flight in order to avoid all of these many, many dangers, as well as to lure this infected moth out of a secret hole. Because while you can't interview the infected moths themselves, you can interview the infected moth's friends, who often say things like, "Oh, I told my friend we shouldn't have gone here," or, "Hey, my buddies were waiting just up ahead. Have you seen them?" Or, "Where is my husband?" It's quite morbid. I don't know why I'm smiling so much. Maybe it's just because Robin is doing an amazing job and is very fast and fun to control. As they dive into the water to find yet another void emissary. We're almost halfway through the void emissaries, and well over halfway through the normal moths that Robin will be finding and interviewing on this quest. Like this one, and this one, and more to come, because in this area of the caves, there is a secret. Some of these moths talk about how a group of artists once came here to complete their greatest project yet, and have never returned. Oh dear! But maybe that means they're still working in something like this really secret tunnel, which is small and quite hard to fly down. But Robin can find at the end of it art! Wowee! Would you look at that? It is spectacular and definitely newsworthy. This strange creature that no one has seen before. It definitely makes you want to rub its head and or belly though, doesn't it? Too bad these sorts of creatures are not real, and Robin does not have a chance to rub this statue's belly because they have yet more news to cover, including this moth right here, who's the one who says, "Where's my husband? I swear he was just behind me." Well, I am so sorry to break the bad news to you, lady, but your husband has been infected. Unlike Robin, who manages to slip by and talk here to tea. who tells you that you can collect mushrooms to uninfect the moths. But we are not a doctor. Robin is a journalist and will therefore be doing the journalism, not the science. Yep. So if they can sneak through, nope. If they can sneak through these poison mushrooms and see a little bit of a background creeping in, is that familiar to anyone? Perchance, as the kids say. But in the area of the caves, there is much looping back and forth, and in order to get all the interviews, Robin must go through every main loop of the caves. So, back through the caves it is towards the quarantine zone, as we have a little bit more time if our wonderful host would like to say some words once again. And I rest my voice once again, including in the submission. Hi. Hi, Prevent-A-Thon. Hi. All right. Thank you to our wonderful host for those words, but Robin now finds themselves blocked off by the many dangers present here in the caved-in corridor, like these falling rocks, which, as we know from Pokemon, rock is super effective against a bug like Robin. Luckily, this moth managed to escape and survive so Robin can get an interview with them. But Robin must be very, very careful about these crumbling boulders, which will absolutely crush them to death, as you have already seen so far. Robin gets a couple more interviews in the safe area before heading back out, because not only are the rocks capable of crushing Robin, but they are also capable of revealing secrets, like this right here, where more interviews await, and a secret exit, luckily, so Robin doesn't have to walk all the way back through those infected jump scare moth tunnels. Robin does manage to avoid this jump scare infected moth and triggers yet more rocks falling. This sequence is quite delicate, so Robin will have to be quite careful not to get barely squished by that one here. Whew! They pull it off and can find yet another emissary of the void. 8 out of 13. We are well over halfway through the emissaries. I have a bot to ban in my Twitch chat right now. That's disgusting. But Robin can make it into here, talking to Sammy, who says, "Hey, I'm a journalist too. This is my scoop. But, dear Sammy, you are hiding in a corner while Robin is making their way on to our sponsored segment of the run." Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Unfortunately, Robin was crushed by our sponsor Tetris, and now needs to navigate the blocks backwards in order to get all the way up to the top once again. If Robin can just slip through this big square block and survive, Robin can very easily not have to do all that. Unfortunately, Robin took a slight spill, but did manage to get up through the Tetris pieces, saying hi to our sponsor once again, and getting the door open. But ever onward, Robin must go, as there are still a maze to complete back here in order to finish off this bottom cave's loop. This cave is full of secret, what are they called? What did I call them? Help! My brain just shut off in the middle of the news! I'm going to get fired so bad for this! Oh no! News beacons! They're called news beacons! Once Robin can get all 3 of the secret news beacons, it will lead them to a very special interview indeed. Because down here lies a moth known as Wise Moth. Robin could have found Wise Moth in the city, but that news interview doesn't count because you have to talk to Wise Moth again back here. Wise Moth is very old and, believe it or not, wise. And they tell Robin that they are very worried about an ancient evil coming awake again and threatening all of moth kind. As Robin teleports all the way back to this spawn point way over by Wise Moth. Hello? The maze can be quite annoying if something goes slightly awry and Robin needs to wait out this infected moth. Okay, there we go. Up and through. Wait out this infected moth. And Robin has made it all the way back through the maze on their second try. Whew! That is a tight one, folks. But Robin has just a couple more interviews to get before they can get to wherever that strange purple background is coming from. Of course, it's not the Void. The Void has this nice black and rainbow colored background where all these Void emissaries hang out, just like you, buddy. But there's only so much Robin can do in here. They must progress on through the danger zone. Yep. All right. Now Robin lights up yet another news beacon and finds themselves affronted with this strange anomalous statue that we saw earlier, depicting a creature with 8 legs. What strange creature has 8 legs? Robin will find out as they enter the mansion, the final area of this big scoop, filled with more dangerous traps. Just like that, more cobwebs that we've also seen, as well as these moth ghosts, who luckily are very friendly and amenable to being interviewed. Robin can interview all of them to find out what is exactly going on here, and why there are so many moth ghosts, and what this place even is. Yep. So, in this 100% run, we will be doing just that, heading up the east wing of the mansion first to find all of the secret moth ghosts and hidden interviews scattered throughout this giant area. Robin can sneak through the water. We'll see one of those secrets right here, which is one of the Void emissaries. 10 out of 13. Robin is so close to finishing all of those up. But the traps are going to get ever the more dangerous. As you can see, some of these spikes pop out when Robin is near. Those red eyeballs will also shoot fire directly at Robin, sometimes homing in if they can see them. And these red spikes right here are normal spikes, but they're still very dangerous. So Robin must try their absolute best to avoid them and not run straight into the eyeballs or spikes. Like that again. Yep. There we go. Robin is now past that group and onto yet more. There are always more dangers for a journalist like Robin to face, including those right there. Yep. Oh, come on! That one was nowhere near Robin. Let's go above, turn the eyeballs off temporarily, and sneak right on through. That was perfect! So, Robin continues into the east wing, past so many spiky spikes. They find another moth and another ghost. Well, they're the same thing. It's a moth ghost! Spooky! But soon Robin will find more than just ghosts. Robin will find eyes, like this void eye right here. Those are the ultimate defenders of the mansion. Luckily, though, after years immersed in the void, they have become weakened to the bright flash of Robin's camera light. So, Robin can use their camera to defeat and dissipate those void eyes and clear the way forward. It is not an interview, but it is still very important camera work from Robin, who must take out all 3 of those void eyes just like that with aplomb. And also talk to, right over here, the coward, who's hiding in a corner in the middle of the boss fight. But it's okay, Robin has done the boss fight perfectly and lit up this big news beacon. With just 2 of those, Robin can get to the big scoop at the heart of this mansion. So Robin must now go back and find the other one while continuing to still interview all of the moth ghosts who warned Robin about the strike team being ahead and that they have been fighting against the spiders for how long have they been fighting? Sometimes it seems like even these ghosts don't know. Do ghosts live forever, perhaps? Robin will find out as they venture deeper into the west wing of the mansion over here, up this very dangerous staircase room. Boom! And just like that. And into a little bit of water. But Robin can get above the water as best they can. not be slowed down by that or the cobwebs, and get up to a familiar room, if you remember the old any percent scoop. But this is not any percent, this is 100%. Robin has no more need for backtracking into the rest of the world. They've cleared out every non-mansion interview. As you can see, we're at 227 interviews out of the 252 that Robin needs. This story is coming to a close very quickly, and in the deepest part of the West Wing, Robin also hears tales of a dungeon where moths are being kept. Could it be this area? There is a news beacon leading to a trapped moth, but it is not the full dungeon. Robin will have to find it after, of course, they take out the mansion's defenders and the dungeon's defenders. These void eyeballs! After a bit of unfortunate bouncing, Robin will have to try again, but they do manage to get the void eyeball taken down this time. Only 3 more void eyeballs stand between them and the dungeon. Robin does eat a little bit of a laser this time, but now they can come back more prepared and take out all of the void eyes just like that. With that, Robin gets their second big news beacon and can now make their way to the end of the scoop. But, of course, we need the full scoop, dear viewers. So, we are going to find that dungeon. Where do you think it could possibly be? Maybe behind a waterfall? Yes! Robin has found the dungeon in the most classic place to hide something, right behind the waterfall. So, Robin can go into the individual prisoner cells and interview all of these moth ghosts. They're probably free to go. There don't seem to be any guards, but even in this empty cell, Robin will still find the penultimate void emissary. Not even the emissaries themselves have been able to escape the wrath of, well, you'll see, dear viewer, whoever it was that put them in prison in the first place, I suppose. But as Robin collects these final few interviews and heads up through the main shaft of this mansion to get to the final scoop. Dear host, this is your final chance if you would like to say some amazing words, and my final chance to rest my poor voice. Really? Okay. All right, here Robin goes. The final collection of interviews. As you can see, the interview tracker on the upper left of your screen rise ever faster, and the screen begins to shake. One could only wonder what is coming at the end of this news scoop. Stay tuned to find out, dear viewers. Warning, the following interview contains arachnophobia. Viewer discretion is advised. Yes, indeed, the final void emissary warns us her clutches must be stopped. Very ominous. And the penultimate moth tells us about the queen and how we must defeat her. And we are here. It's Robin, the final interview, right before this giant spider brimming with the power of the void. Robin would like an interview with the spider, but the spider wishes only to kill Robin. Oh dear! Robin must use their camera light to fend off the queen's 8 evil eyes, as the queen uses the power of the void to teleport them through a combat arena based on the places that they've seen in their adventure thus far, like the forest, the caves, and the spooky dooky mansion. Robin dies, but luckily they only have these final 2 eyes to clear out in the mansion section before they can get to the big scoop they need. Robin must survive this encounter, however. There's no use getting these pictures back to you if they're dead. So I must avoid the lasers, avoid the fireballs, avoid the fireballs. No! Barely sniped out. One more attempt, or maybe more, because Robin will never give up until the truth is brought to light, dear viewers. No matter how much it takes, And Robin has done it. Time is now! 34:05 is what it took to get this big scoop. And the scoop is that this spider is the former queen of Lycosina, who was defeated in ages long past by Robin's previous incarnation, as a matter of fact. And she was trying to use the power of the void to resurrect herself and once again take over before this era's Robin stopped her as well with the power of journalism. Everyone please give it up for Robin. And also please give it up for the developers of this game, Moth Games. Shoutouts to Atlas. Shoutouts to Celine. And shoutouts to Myrrh. This story would not be possible without the three of you. With that said, my name has been Turtle Run 2412. I've been your news host for this Moth Planet news broadcast, forgetting to split, and thanking you for watching. This program was brought to you by Prevent-A-Thon, Little Warriors, Moth Fried Games, Mudkip Warrior, The Leech 1, and Hinkhouse, and viewers like you. Thank you for watching. Alright, that's it. That's it. So yeah, thank you for considering this for Prevent-A-Thon 7. DM me if you have any questions about the game crashing. I can do something to fix that, even though it'll probably add like a minute. But okay, thank you for watching. Bye! Moth Planet, yeah, Moth Game! And I need to kill the robot. Hold on. Okay, yep. Bye! Remember to stand up, stretch, hydrate, get good sleep. Have a good day, have a good week, have a good year, have a good month, have a good life. Bye. Smashy, you're awesome. Bye.